Welcome to Run the Day, the daily show from all of us here at the Run the Play Network. About winners of the MLB Trade Deadline. Unfortunately, we have to eat our vegetables and talk about the losers of the MLB Trade Deadline. But before we get started, Jack, how you doing today?
Good, man. Excited as always to be back. Yesterday, had a lot of fun talking about the winners, but today, like you said, we got to talk about some losers of the deadline, which there were some big losers. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, for me, I think all the losers, at least for me, were the teams that had a lot of valuable pieces, but were asking for, all the gold bullion and Fort Knox to acquire them. That's at least for me. But we'll start off with you. Who do you think was the first big loser of the deadline?
I think the first big loser of the deadline was the Milwaukee Brewers because the Milwaukee Brewers are fighting with the Chicago Cubs, who I'll also get into later in this show, for first place in the NL Central. And that would mean a top 3 spot in the NL playoffs. All the Brewers did at the deadline was add catcher Danny Jansen 2 days before the deadline. That's it. And yes, I believe they did add Andrew Vaughn a while ago, and he's been a very good piece for them as of late. But Andrew Vaughn and Danny Jansen for a contending team, that's it. We saw Danny Jansen 2 days before the deadline, and we were like, oh, okay. It kind of looks like the Brewers are going to be looking for depth. And that's all we heard from the Brewers.
Yeah, the Milwaukee, it's very hard to say what they do need. They did need bats. Unfortunately, there's a very bad deadline to go out and get a bat. The pitching is still great, even if, Jacob Mizorowski is now out for, let's say, a month with his bone contusion here. Danny Jansen acquisition makes sense because, you get Contreras off his feet a little bit. You kind of give him the Will Smith treatment. But, yeah, they needed to go get somebody else. The Padres went out and got Freddie Fermin just because there was nobody there. The Dodgers got Alex Call because nobody was out there. There were moves like that to be made. And if you're Milwaukee, just coming away with Danny Jansen, maybe even a small bullpen arm would have been great too. But very, very disappointing from Milwaukee, who that's kind of their ML though. They're the Rays of the National League. So they're going to find good pitching talent. They're going to stay in it. I just don't know how long they'll be true contenders.
Yeah, and another team who has been, I'd say, over the last month, maybe even half a month, has been up and coming are the Boston Red Sox. All they did at this deadline was, no offense to your guy Dustin May, Joe, but adding Dustin May and Steven Matz, 2 pretty old arms, at least. May is out of his prime. Injuries have riddled him. I would have liked to see the Red Sox go after some other guys. You had Duran, who, if you would have traded Duran, you could have gotten something back for him possibly. But as the trade deadline got closer, the rumors with Duran just started to dwindle away.
Yeah, Darren Duran has always been the vocal leader of that team, and it's very hard because you have a surplus of outfielders, and Duran is very clearly the lowest ceiling guy of everybody, and his skill set is not going to age well whatsoever. But to trade away a clubhouse leader, it's going to be rough to watch, quite frankly, what would have happened in Boston. But if you're going to say I think we're going to go for it, or we're right there in a very crowded AL East, and I love the guy, but Dustin May is not a good starter. He's a good reliever. I think he would be a great reliever. But to be he's the number 3 in this rotation, because Giolito, I think we can confidently say, is the number 2 behind Garrett Crochet. But no, Dustin May is going to fix this. No, it's not. Dustin May is never going to fix anything. It's Dustin May.
No.
And then just to be Steven Matz is a good addition to a very good bullpen. But, I would have spent some of that prospect capital and brought in Joe Ryan at this point, because the Twins were selling everything. And Garrett Crochet, Joe Ryan, you can ride that into a postseason series. It's beautiful. But
yeah, and
Good.
And also, I believe that the Red Sox should have pursued Ryan O'Hearn. You've got Romy Gonzalez and Abraham Toro over there at first base. If you're trying to get into the postseason, you need another starter and somebody over at first base. He's not horrible, but Abraham Toro as your backup, O'Hearn and Romy Gonzalez would sound so much better.
And it lines up with the timeline of Tristan Casas coming back
Casas
next
coming
year.
back as well.
Yeah,
And O'Hearn's only a rental too.
Yeah. It's just baffling what the Red Sox did. Is I think this is kind of their gap year. I think they're going to ramp down Crochet a little bit at the end of the year just to keep the arm healthy, since this is his first true workload as a starter. We're going to see what they have in Anthony and Meyer and Christian Campbell. Then in the offseason, go get a free agent. Go give Alex Bregman an incredible amount of money because he has earned it by being a very vocal leader in this clubhouse. Yeah, I think Boston, they have their plan. It's just frustrating to see, like, you're on the doorstep of greatness, but you can't get there, and it's very frustrating. But for me, the most frustrating team is the Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
My God, man. I mean, I don't know about you. I never believed the Matt Olson rumors. Yeah, you can get first base production pretty easily. And yes, you could have gotten a haul for Olson, but Olson was not going to get traded. But you know who could have been traded? Marcell Ozuna. He is phenomenal. I shouldn't say phenomenal. He's a good hitter that really could have gotten you a good price. You had, rental pieces you could have given up all over the board, but no, you hold on to everybody. And I get you're locked into this core, but you had to trade basically every expiring contract on this roster in order to, really have a shot competing next year. Good guy.
Kind of like what the Orioles did. They traded kind of what the Orioles did, trading away all their expiring contracts and even guys with team or player options for the next season, trading away Laureano, O'Hearn. Not going to get into it too much because we had them in our winners yesterday. Laureano, O'Hearn, Kittredge, and Andrew Kittredge actually leads me into my next team, who a lot of people are saying the Chicago Cubs were a loser of this trade deadline. They added Willie Castro, Taylor Rogers, and Michael Soroka. I think they did enough, but I can see how people are calling them losers of the deadline. Kittredge is maybe a 5 or a 6 reliever out of 10. Then Soroka is coming from the Nationals, who obviously they haven't had great seasons since probably 2019. And you add him, okay, that's solid. Willie Castro, that's just depth that's short. And then Taylor Rogers. So I think the positions they added were great, but could they have added better players at those positions? 100%.
Yeah, because Merrill Kelly, I think they could have gotten at a reasonable deal. Let's say he was the really one arm that I thought they could have gone after, because I don't think they were going to give up the prospect capital to get Alcantara, to go get, all these big names. But Merrill Kelly, I thought was a perfect fit for this team, especially because, Javier Assad, I think, is coming back in about a week or two. Shota Imanaga has not looked the best since coming off the IL, but he's going to start getting it going. And Matthew Boyd is somehow a bona fide Cy Young contender in the big 2025. Who saw that coming? So the bullpen, I think, is fine. Rogers was a good addition. I think Castro is a great, hey, Matt Shaw's not hitting, and we have to send him down. So, yeah, let's go get someone just in case, like, we have to demote Shaw. So the moves themselves are fine in a vacuum. It's just, like you said, they could have done so much more to go get stars here at the deadline.
They could have done so much more, still get the same positions. But, yeah. And trivia is still a 1-to-1-to-1-to-1 tie in the Discord. So not too late to join the Discord. Link is in the bio of all Run the Play videos. It's still anyone's Amazon gift card. Remember, the winner does get a $25 Amazon gift card. Trivia questions are all sports: NBA, MLB, NFL, WWE, any other wrestling leagues. Nothing's off the table.
Yeah, we had it wrestling last night, but
Yes.
I don't know. The Guardians, let's just say, are a great example of a loser at this deadline. Yes, I understand Emmanuel Clase is, let's not say suspended, is in trouble because, yeah, it turns out gambling advertisements in Cleveland are very effective. But, the Dodgers were really willing to give up a lot for even Quan here, but they were just asking the moon. You could have gotten something for, Smith and Horton in the bullpen. You had not a lot, but you had very intriguing pieces to reset and build around. And I get Shane Bieber is on a 1-year deal. So let's just say, yeah, they're losers because they were way, way too high on Stephen Kwan. And I get it. He's a very good player with a lot of control. When's he a free agent, actually? I think he's a free agent 2028.
Who's that? Horton?
No, I'm Quan.
Quan.
Google
I think
AI
he's
says
28.
27.
7. Oh,
We'll
yeah,
go
that's
with
right.
28.
Because he'd become a free agent at the start of 2018.
Yeah, because we don't trust Google AI here. But yeah, to hold on to Quan, and again, you weren't going to get anything for Class A, but they should have sold a little bit more here, if I'm being honest. Yeah, free agent in 2028.
Yeah. Should have sold Quan. I think you definitely could have. I know he's a rookie. He got his first save last night battling cancer. But I had Nick Enright on my big board to be possibly like one of those like under the radar tradies. I thought
Yeah.
for sure Enright was gonna go, in like one of those like reliever for reliever trades or something like that. Because Nick Enright could have packaged with the right deal, could have gotten you something for the future. Next year, 2027.
Some kind of starting pitcher.
Yeah.
But in a very clumsy transition here, if you are as high on Stephen Kwan as the Cleveland Guardians, perhaps you should place a bet with him. And of course, the best place to place a bet, in my opinion, is Boom Fantasy. Use code RTP to get a risk-free bet up to $100. Take Stephen Kwan over on hits. It's going to hit every single time. Pun absolutely intended here. Use code RTP, not just for baseball, but for basketball and football. All your sports betting needs available on Boom Fantasy. Do you have any other losers of the deadline, Jack?
I think this is a very specific one, and I know we put them in our winners yesterday, but the 2025 Orioles, and even possibly the 2026 Baltimore Orioles as well, because they were, what were they, 8-9 games under for the trade deadline. I know it would be a very insane comeback with the schedule they have coming up. They still have to play the Dodgers. They have a series with the Phillies. They still have to play the Mariners. Still have to play the Yankees. I'm pretty sure 7 games, 3, 4, 7 games, something around that number. So it really would have been tough to get over 500, but now it is just painful to watch the Orioles. You have Jeremiah Jackson out in right field. You have Dylan Carlson out in center field, who can't hit for anything. I think Jeremiah Jackson might be one of the worst fielders that I've ever seen go into right field. How do you let a ball just like, you're standing there, you've got your glove up, you're standing there for a good 3 seconds, and then you just let it drop. You're running into a first baseman in first baseman's territory, right next to first base. If like first base is like here, ball was here, and then here comes Jeremiah Jackson from right field. So really, I wouldn't be shocked if we find out this offseason that after July 31st, viewership was down for Orioles games.
It sucks because, baseball is better when Baltimore is good because Camden Yards, when it's rocking. And just to have playoff baseball, to have a historic franchise be relevant again was so much fun. But yeah, I can't. I understand it's your team and it's going to be very hard to watch for 2025. I lived through the McCourt years, so I get it. But I just can't seem to call them losers when you add 6 players to your top 30
I think
prospects
so.
and
Yeah.
replenish the
True.
farm.
Yeah. But I think the Orioles will have I think they'll have a 2022 Orioles season next year. I think they'll be over 500 by a couple games. I don't think they'll make the playoffs next year. Well, you never know. Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basayo. You'll have year 2 of Oriole Tyler O'Neill. You'll have Tyler Wells and Kyle Bradish back, hopefully for a full year. At this point, I'm just giving up on Grayson Rodriguez. I don't know what to expect from him when he gets back from now what is third third surgery, 4th IL stint, I'm pretty sure. You'll get Felix Bautista, who, knowing what they did with him this year, he won't pitch back-to-back days until late May to early June. So not holding out hope on next year, but this season's written off for the Orioles and probably their fans.
Yeah, because I'm looking at free agents next year. Like, you guys do have good options on the starting pitching market. Like, I do think you're going to probably get Dylan Cease, maybe a buy low on Zach Gallen, maybe a Tyler Anderson just for rotation depth. Ranger Suarez looks very intriguing in Baltimore. There are a lot of names that Baltimore can go out and get. I think they are absolutely competitive in 2026 because they have money to spend. They have prospects to either develop or trade. I think Baltimore is fine next year. It's just going to be very hard to watch this team for the rest of the year here. And I think we need to address, because we did say yesterday that the Dodgers may or may not be losers here. I'm going to say they're not losers, but I would be interested to see whether or not you agree with me on that one.
I would say they're not losers because they're already a stacked team. And, I have my opinion on the Dodgers, and I think there should be a salary cap because you have Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts. I know Mookie's not doing great, and I don't know. Did they do the standing ovation for him last night?
They did do the standing ovation last night, and I think he went 0-4. Granted, one of those was a strikeout at the knees. Like, he was looking.
I did see that.
That was an awful, awful pitch, man. Yeah, so they did the ovation for Mookie last night, and I'll talk about it now because I was telling my dad this last night. I think it is a big mental thing with Mookie. I'm not going to acknowledge that is not happening, but I think it's a mechanical thing more than anything. Because if you watch him, he is popping the ball up so much. I'm not just talking instant pop-ups, but like just bad, lazy fly balls. And watch his back shoulder. It drops a lot. He just does not have the strength right now to keep that shoulder in place and keep that bat plane flat. So that's what's causing all his difficulties. Is he just does not have the strength to keep the bat flat in the zone. And I think once he adds some strength, like you got to be on, the I don't want to say the name, but like the influencer chicken and rice only diet. I don't even season my goddamn chicken. That's what kind of diet Mookie Betts needs to be on here, just to get some strength back. But if we're talking about the Dodgers as a whole, yes, I understand the bullpen has not been great. Last night reinforced that. I love the man, but Anthony Bonda in a tie game in the 8th is crazy.
Yeah.
I understand it's not a bad pitch that got hit out, but he still gave up the go-ahead home run here. Brock Stewart, our big bullpen addition. Yeah, he was good, but he just couldn't put anyone away with 2 strikes, and that really frustrated me watching. So I understand Kopech's going to be coming back. Gratterall may be coming back at some point here. But the bullpen dogs, these are not. The rotation is good again. We have our 6-man rotation. It should really help with Otani's health, Yamamoto's health, Snell's health, Glasnow's health. It's just you needed something like just one more bullpen arm here to really
Yeah.
get fans excited. But getting Call and Stewart, I think, was more than enough for what we needed. It's just we're so used to getting Trey Turner, Manny Machado, Yu Darvish at the deadline. That Alex Call and Brock Stewart just feels like a loss spiritually.
Yeah, I think when you say Alex Cole and Brock Stewart compared to Trey Turner and Manny Machado, you're like, who? Like,
Yeah.
if you're not a diehard baseball fan, like you don't, if you just follow the Dodgers, you might not know who Brock Stewart and Alex Cole are. Like, you would have to, like, I think the only way I know who Alex Cole is because I live 40 miles from Nats Park and I have friends who are Nats fans, but I don't think I would know who Alex Cole is if not. But I think the Dodgers should have went out for Andrew Kittredge from the Orioles, Kittredge or Dominguez. I think preferably for the Dodgers, Dominguez. He's a guy who can give you an inning and a third, sometimes even 2 innings. He's not a long reliever, but he's not a guy who's going to get into many 8, 9, even 10 pitch at bats. He's going to keep it to like 6 or under. So he's a very efficient guy. Yes, he does allow home runs, but I think obviously every pitcher allows home runs. But I had on my prediction sheet that Dominguez went to the Dodgers and Kittredge was Dodgers or Padres, and that never happened. But I had the Dodgers getting 5 guys, and I had them getting Stephen Kwan. Not 100% sure why. I think it was just because the Dodgers, they get everybody. They get Teoscar Hernandez, they get Shohei Ohtani, they get Yamamoto from Japan a couple years ago. They get Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow. So
yeah, we do get everybody, and the fan base, how do I put this politely, is misinformed, let's say, is in the room, not to throw anyone I know under the bus here, but I know people in my life who in 2020, when the rumors were coming out like, hey, the Dodgers may get Mookie Betts, they legitimately said, who's that? I'm like, it's Mookie Betts, the second best player in all of baseball. Do you not know who that is? Oh my God. I love my team and I love the fan base to death. But I would say 50% of them are in that misinformed category. 25% are influencers who go take pictures at the park. And then 25% are, the diehards who will watch every game, who travel and take over every single stadium. I'm sorry in advance that we're going to be taking over Camden Yards in, what is it, August? We're coming out?
I think
we will be
it's
taking over
August because I think I hope it's not a weekend series, but I'm sure it is. Orioles Dodgers coming into the year, you would think.
Well, they were a weekday series last year.
They were.
I know.
Yeah.
They had an Ohtani bobblehead.
Yeah, they did, and it was the week I went back to school. I was up late that week. It is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series.
Yeah, Camden Yards is getting taken over. I am sorry.
Oh yeah, but see, here's what I don't understand. I'm looking at the schedule here. They go out to San Fran and San Diego. Why not just stay in LA? I mean, I'm not complaining. I would much rather play you guys here, but
it's the every other year interleague thing.
Oh shoot, yeah, that's right.
Because they were in LA last year. I went to BP. I was at the game. I have the Ohtani bobblehead because my ex loves dogs, so I bought the tickets for her, and then we broke up before the game.
Oh no!
So I'm not complaining. Let me get it for you, actually.
I know it's a
very nice bobblehead. Don't get me wrong, but
isn't he releasing a book?
Out there at 2 p.m. in the sun, waiting in those lines. It was awful.
I know the Orioles had some bobbleheads like that this year. The only bobblehead that they did not give all of them out was the David Rubenstein one. The weather wasn't great, but also a lot of fans did not want a bobblehead of the owner.
Who does?
I'm not complaining, I would have went, like, if I would have known it wasn't going to be that packed, I would have went and gotten some. Because what you do is you see how bad the line is, and then you go online and you see, ooh, $5 tickets on some no fee app. So you go, all right, I'll get a couple tickets, and then you go inside, you come back out, you go back in, you go back out for bobbleheads if you want to sell them. Or for me, if I go, I try and get some for my sister who she collects them too. So
Yeah. But we got kind of sidetracked here. Before we finish, is there any other teams we want to call losers of the deadline here?
I don't think so.
Covered everybody. I'll shout out Cincinnati because getting Ke'Bryan Hayes in the big 2025. Yeah. You didn't miss much, Mackenzie. We were just talking about bobbleheads and how Dodger fans basically take over every stadium the team goes to.
I can't even see the chat.
Yeah, I said I got the chat on my right, but
yeah, that's what I have. But something's wrong with it. But
and Ke'Bryan
stay
Hayes
with Run the Play. Yeah, stay with Run the Play this week. Tomorrow we have Ant and Phil doing their Eastern Conference standings for the NBA. Thursday, Ant's going to be back again with Richie for underrated offseason pickups in the NBA. And then on Friday, AFC standings with Zachary Gresh and also Ant. So Ant took Monday and Tuesday off the air, but he'll be back to finish out the week. So tune in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to see the GOAT Ant with 3 great guests.
Yeah, baseball coverage is over, but we still have one episode of The Dugout coming out this week. I'm doing post-trade deadline World Series predictions here. I'm not going to spoil it here, but who would you say is winning the World Series after this deadline? Put you on the spot here.
I think that's hard. I think, my gosh, there's like no, wow.
I will tell you while you're thinking of this that I changed like all the postseason matchups a lot because I'm like, oh, this team's good. This team's good. One series, one of the NLDSs, I'm not spoiling who I have in the NLDS, but I was legitimately going back and forth for like 15 minutes on who was going to win this division series. It is very close this year.
I think I'm just going to give some contenders, probably my NL Championship Series. Again, I don't know how seeding is going to work out, so some of these might be impossible. But I don't think it's the Dodgers' year. I think the Phillies have a legitimate chance this year. I think it's going to be Phillies from the NL, and then I think it's going to be Astros in the AL.
Ooh, a 2022 rematch.
2022 rematch. But I think the Phillies come out on top this year.
Yeah, I think 2022 was the best World Series of the decade, so I would not be mad at it. Not one whatsoever. No. Shout out defensive wizard Nick Castellanos. But from all of us here at the Run the Play Network, thanks for watching the show. Make sure you guys tune in on Wednesday. I am very excited to see who wins the Battle of Mid in the East this year. Take care, and don't forget on the way out, play ball.